unique. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, Chairman and members. My name is Alyssa Lynch, and I'm a superintendent for Metropolitan Education District. We're the largest career technical education center in Northern California. We also have a representative here for Southern California. And I'd like to let you know that I'm here in support of the governor's proposal, and I'm supportive of it because I've been with career technical education for 23 years. And Senator or Assemblymember Chavez, I'd like to answer your question. And my students in Sunnyvale, I was a director at North County ROP, 86% of those students went on to college. And now as a superintendent at Metropolitan Education District in Silicon Valley, 69% of my students go on to college. And so we prepare them for college and career readiness. I'm here in support of the governor's bill. And having been in career technical education for 23 years, I'm really pushing for accountability because we know accountability is what counts in California, and that's what gets measured. And more importantly, without these programs, I have to tell you, it's been very difficult in Silicon Valley to have cut my budget from $30 million to $17 million since the 2008-2009 school year. But what I was going to say is more important is that these programs prepare students for the workforce in California. Without these programs, we don't have students that can provide the skills that the employers need. They're begging us, they're starving for our students in culinary, in manufacturing, accounting, biotechnology, cybersecurity. We have to have these new programs. So thank you for your time. And I'm happy to serve and help with this legislation.
Thank you. And just again, 1 minute or less, please.
We'll try. Fred Jones, California Business Education Association. We're also part of the Get Real Coalition, which is chaired by the building trades, and behind me the Manufacturers Association, in strong support of the governor's proposal. Although I wanted to say that in the last 2 years of LCFF, the state has set aside or required district to spend $626 million annually on career technical education. That's under the MOE and also the Career Pathways Trust Grant. So $250 million compared to $626, that's a gap that we would like to see closed. According to the U.S. Census Bureau 2010 report, in California, 70% of our population does not have a four-year degree. So while 69 or 83% may go to college, most of those kids have no clue what they want to do with their degree, have no clue what they want to do with their career. And a lot of them end up, after getting a degree, going back to community college to get marketable skills. We think that workforce pipeline should start at the middle and high school level. That's what the governor's plan is to do, is to reward and incentivize districts to provide high-quality CTE. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nicole Rice, California Manufacturers and Technology Association. We're also, as Mr. Jones said, chairing the Get Real Coalition, for which CTE is our priority issue. I just want to state comments related to how important this is for industry. We are very supportive of the governor's proposal. We are very excited to see the state looking to support their commitment and mission to workforce development stronger by putting some real solid and sustainable dollars behind that commitment. I do agree with Mr. Jones that there is a lot more money out there that's targeted currently to career tech education, and collapsing and providing and capturing all that money and redirecting it and repurposing it so we can get high quality industry relevant programs is a priority and a goal, and we look forward to working with the legislature to move forward on that commitment. I just want to close by saying in our industry the average age for a manufacturing worker is 57 years old, and we have a rapidly retiring workforce. So the need out there for students who have actually held a tool, who actually have been able to learn and be instructed on how to think critically and work in groups and be able to actually do the specialized skills that we need in our industry is extremely important. So I urge the committee to move forward with the governor's proposal. Thank you.
Jerry Shelton on behalf of the California Association of Regional Occupational Centers and Programs, ROCPs, and we are in strong support of the governor's proposal. We have concerns about the level of funding and about the short-term nature of the funding, but primarily we're looking at requesting 2 amendments to be made to the governor's proposal. The chair's questions went to the heart of these, that is, the use of soft state grant funds as a local match is asking for problems. If this is about sustainability of programs, those funds will go away with no local effort. Basically, the rich get richer on top of that. And the second proposal has to do with the competitive nature of the proposed grant. And we think that the legislature would be better served by targeting those funds at previously existing programs that have infrastructure in place, relationships with business and industry, and also if the legislature preferred to set out clear priorities for the funding and then basically direct that the funding be awarded, the grants be awarded on the basis of those priorities. If I might, through the chair, to answer Mr. Chavez's question, or at least part of it, the one part is 100% of students should in fact be offered career technical education, because even students that go to college, go into careers. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members. Pat Whalen on behalf of the Southern California Regional Occupational Center, also known as SoCal ROC. We are generally supportive of the governor's incentive grant, as well as the career pathways and other supplemental forms of funding CTE. But here's the thing. SoCal ROC has been in existence since 1967, and as Ms. Lynch indicated, the first public commenter, Metro Ed is the Northern California counterpart. This is a standalone entity. It has buildings, it has equipment. As Department of Finance mentioned and other panelists, there's a huge startup cost when you want to build a quality CTE program. SoCal ROC already has that. It's been in existence, and when the MOE goes away at the end of this fiscal year, we have to look at closing our doors, and you're never going to find the funds to open that back up. So we'd like to work with you. As the staff report indicated last year, this committee looked very hard and encouraged a dedicated funding source to CTE. We'd like to work with your staff to develop a dedicated funding source for SoCal ROC, because without a base grant that all the other districts get, the supplemental funds like these don't help us stay open. Thank you.
Peter Birdsall with the California County Superintendents Association. We support the $250 million appropriation, but we share the chair's concerns about making sure that all students in the state have access to career technical education, quality career technical education. So we have expressed those concerns to the governor's staff and Department of Finance. Been working with them. Look forward to working with your staff, because we think there is an opportunity here to build a transition plan so you have a statewide quality program. And we don't think we should miss this opportunity. Look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
Otto Namack with Association of California School Administrators. I'd like to align my comments along with Peter Birdsall from Secessa. We too certainly support the investment in CTE programs. However, we do raise some concerns regarding the competitive nature of it and the limited time for the resources. If we're going to make an investment, let's just make that investment in career tech. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, members, Michael Holsizer here today on behalf of the Kern County Superintendent of Schools, but also our 12 unified and high school districts in Kern County. We think that the governor's proposal is a very positive step forward. Recognizing the concerns of the chair, which we would want to associate ourselves with, this is a program that really will incentivize us to get to a full program that really allows us to take care of or take advantage of all of the resources that will be available at full LCFF implementation for grade 9, 12, grade span adjustment, and career technical education. We were very encouraged by the comments today made by the representative of the governor that they're very open to addressing the question, the concern about soft money, and we're encouraged that we're going to get there. But the bottom line is this is a very positive proposal, as Mr. Chavez outlined earlier, and
Thank you.
We certainly encourage you to adopt it. Thanks.
Good morning. Jeff Cummings. I'm the interim superintendent president at Copper Mountain College in Joshua Tree, California, and the past president of the California Community College Association of Occupational Education, CCC-AOE. I started as a welder in the sawmills of Northern California at age 14 and a half and put myself through college shoeing horses. So I know about vocational training and I know what hard work is. So as a president and superintendent of a college, I would ask that you seriously consider trying your hardest to eliminate words such as competitive, grant, and one time from any legislation moving forward that funds career and technical education. I am responsible for a community college, and part of my responsibility is to provide a trained workforce for my region, my district, and the state of California. And it's very hard to do that and take the responsibility to do that when I don't have any type of long-term guarantee of the funding and students looking to me for viable wages. So the other part of your question that I could answer is a high school diploma is worth about $24,000 approximately to a graduate. A community college degree or certificate can be worth up to $50,000 or more. So you've almost got double having those students going on to complete a community college degree. So I would ask also that if any of these programs can connect the pathways in a very serious and intentional manner, let's combine these funding, the adult education funding, the career pathway funding, and CTE initiative funding at the high school level with the community colleges so that those students experience a seamless process that makes them very well prepared for careers. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, again, we will hold this issue open as well till the May revision. Both these items. Last issue, issue number 5, apprenticeship programs.
So the governor's budget includes an increase of $14 million for existing apprenticeship programs to support both an increase in the number of hours allocated and the rate at which schools and colleges are reimbursed. In addition, the governor's budget provides $15 million for new and innovative apprenticeship programs in emerging industries.
Thank you. LAO?
Judy Hyman again, LAO. Once again, I'm referring to the handout from the last issue, and I'll provide a brief background on apprenticeship programs followed by our assessment and recommendation. Apprenticeships provide on-the-job training in a specific trade paired with classroom instruction in related subjects. Apprenticeship training programs are sponsored by businesses or labor unions that partner with a school district or community college to provide the classroom instruction. State funding helps support the classroom component by providing about $5 per student for every hour of instruction. In the current year, the state's providing about $23 million for this purpose. Funds are appropriated to the community colleges and pass through to school districts and colleges that provide the instruction. As you can see on page 6, there are currently more than 50,000 apprentices in nearly 50 different trades in the state. The most common apprenticeship trades are in construction, including plumbing, electrical, carpentry, and the like. The next most common area is in public safety, most notably firefighting. These two areas account for about 80% of all apprentices in this state. As Mr. Nizam explained, the governor proposes an augmentation to the apprenticeship programs. $14 million would restore existing apprenticeships to pre-recession enrollment levels and would increase the funding rate to match the current community college non-credit rate. The other $15 million would create new apprenticeship programs in emerging industries such as healthcare, manufacturing, and information technology. Unlike the current apprenticeship funding, I would note, which can only be used directly for instruction, a portion of the new funding could be used for other related purposes, such as outreach to employers to describe the benefits of apprenticeship training, as well as research and evaluation. Our assessment is on page 8. The apprenticeship categorical program is inconsistent with the coordinated approach to workforce education that the state is working towards. Apprenticeship already is one of the 5 areas for the adult education block grant. Separate funding for the same goals, same purpose, same activities, increases fragmentation and hinders that integration of workforce education programs. We recommend that you consider providing the increase, but folding the funding into the adult education block grant. A regional consortium could support apprenticeship instruction from its block grant allocation if that's a priority in that particular region. You could add accountability measures specifically related to apprenticeships if you're concerned about that. If you do choose to maintain categorical funding for apprenticeships, you still could use the regional consortia process. For example, by awarding apprenticeship funds to a regional consortium or a group of consortia on a competitive basis.
Thank you. Community colleges?
Yes, Dan Troy, once again, Vice Chancellor of California Community Colleges, Chancellor's Office. We're very supportive of the governor's proposal for the reasons Mr. Nizam stated. The increase in funds would increase the reimbursement rate for existing programs. We think that this would help keep the incentive in place for school districts and community colleges to continue offering the programs that have been very successful for California firefighters, electricians, plumbers, steam fitters, and pipe fitters over time. The additional $15 million will allow us to expand this successful program into other key growing labor market fields such as healthcare, information and communications technology, advanced manufacturing. And to comment on a point that the LAO has mentioned about folding all these dollars into the adult education block grant, we note that we think that the fact that the block rate language suggests apprenticeship as an allowable use of those dollars speaks to the success of the existing apprenticeship programs. So I don't consider that duplication. I think we just don't want to limit that possibility within the regional consortium. But we're in support of continuing these programs that have already proven to be very successful.
Thank you. Questions from committee members? Comments? Mr. Chavez?
I just like the LAO's recommendation. I think it brings us some very good points. What's the process? Are you going to take these back and try to do this, or are we going to discuss it? Or
Yeah, we're going to hold these open until the May revision. So we'll revisit this in 2 months or less.
Look forward to seeing what happens. By the way, LAO, you did some really good presentations today. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, again, we're going to hold this. Oh, on this, do we have public comment?
Good morning, Chair and members. Michelle Cabrera with SEIU State Council, and just wanted to say that we are very supportive of the governor's proposal to include $29 million for existing as well as new and emerging apprenticeships, and we look forward to working with the administration and the legislature on seeing that through.
Thank you.
Helen Roth Dowden, SEIU Local 1000. We share Michelle Cabrera's comments and are full supportive of the governor's proposal. Thank you.
Thank you. Again, we're going to hold this item open until the May revision. Thank you very much. We will adjourn this meeting.